Hello everyone, welcome back to class. Today new chapter we are going to start, chapter number 4, data handling of class 8 maths. Our chapter name is data handling. Chapter name is data handling. What is data? What is data? First of all, collection of information is called data. Collection of information is called data. Collection of information is called data. For example, runs scored by a batsman in last 10 ODIs, or suppose if I'm asking in class that how many students are present, such information is called data. This is information and information is called data. Runs scored by a batsman in 10 ODIs. Runs scored by a batsman in 10 ODIs. Okay, this is collection of information, and collection of information is called data. Collection of information is called data. Now see, data is of two types. Data is of two types. One is primary data. And second is secondary data. Primary data and secondary data. When we are getting information direct from source, when we are getting information direct from source, suppose a class teacher is taking in attendance in classroom one by one, and then she comes to know who is present and who is absent. And opposite of this one, when she is asking from anybody else about her class that who is present and how many are absent, this is secondary data for her. Primary data, information is direct from source. Direct from source. When we are collecting information direct from any source, then that data is called primary data. And secondary data is when we are not getting information directly from any source, from somebody else to anybody else, we are getting information, that is secondary data. That is secondary data. Primary data and secondary data. Primary data, when we are getting information direct from any source, that is primary data for us. And when we are getting information from primary data, secondary data is when we are not examining anything and we are collecting it from anybody else, that is secondary data. Data is collection of information, and this information, this data is of two types, primary data and secondary data. After that, there are various ways to represent this data, like we are using graphs to represent the data. Graphs are more informative. They are giving clear observation, clear analysis of anything. Like graphs are pictograph, bar graph, and pictograph, bar graph, and double bar graph. Double bar graph. We are using pie chart also. Pie chart. Line graph is also there. In this chapter, we are going to represent information, data through pictograph, bar graph, double bar graph, and pie chart. About these, we are going to discuss in this chapter: pie chart, double bar graph, and pictograph. Let us see. First of all, pictograph, in which we are representing In picture form, information we are representing in picture form, that is pictograph, picture graph. Pictograph, pictorial representation of data using symbols. Pictograph is representation of data using symbols, like one car is representing 100 cars. This one symbol is representing 100 cars. One symbol stands for 100 car. Okay. There some information is given about July, August, September. Now see, what is question? Some information about this graph. How many cars were produced in the month of July? How many cars produced in the month of July? One car is representing 100, means one symbol is representing 100 cars. This also will represent 100, and this half is representing 50. This half symbol is representing 1 by 2 of half, that is 50. So total car produced in the month of July, 250. In the month of July are 250. In which month were maximum number of car produced? So we need to find out car produced in August, September and July we have already calculated. So in August 300 cars were produced, and in September there are 4 symbols, so 400 cars produced in the month of September. So now based upon this information, you can give your answer. Which month were maximum number of cars produced? In which month? So in September, maximum number of cars were produced. In September, maximum number of cars were produced. This was pictograph. This was pictograph in which we are representing information using symbols. Using symbols. Next is bar graph. Next is bar graph. What is bar graph? Bar graph display the information in the form of these bars, in the form of these bars of equal width. Bar graph is used to display information in the form of these bars. These are called bar. These are called bars. And these should be of equal width. These should be of equal width. Then it is bar graph. While we are drawing bar graph, some points are there that we need to keep in mind. It will start from 0. It will start from 0. And this information, this is y-axis of your graph, and this is x-axis. This is x-axis. Independent information we will consider on x-axis, and dependent information we will consider on y-axis. It is starting from 0, and then this interval we will find out. How we can find out this one, how we can choose this one scale, it depends on information what is given in question. Suppose there 0, 50, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300 and 350. Number of students in class 8 and their academic years given to us. What is given to us? Years. These are academic years. In 2003 and 4, how many number of students were in class 8? 100. In 2004 and 2005, number of students were 200. And in 2005 and 2006, number of students were 250. In 2006 and 2007, number of students were 300 in class 8. And in 2007 and 2008, number of students were 350. 350. Now see, answer some question. First of all, we need to define a scale. First of all, we need to define a scale. In your graph paper, if exactly you will see, then you will find there 10 fine lines. Okay, so these 10 divisions representing this 50 number of students, 50 students. So one division will represent 50 by 10, that is 5 students. One fine line on your graph will represent 5 students. So this scale is mandatory to define while we are drawing bar graph. Okay, and then we need to keep in mind independent information we are going to take on x-axis, and dependent dependent information we have to take on x-axis. Okay, let us see how it is independent and how it is dependent. In 2003 and 2004, number of students was 100. This information number of students is depending on the year, in which year we are dealing. In 2003 and 4, number of students were 100. This is independent and this is dependent. In 2004 and 5, number of students were 200, in this way. Okay, and these bar must be of equal width. These bar must be of equal width, and gap between these also must be equal. Okay, and second thing, there see 0 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 150. This information, this interval is regular. This is regular interval, 0 to 50, 50 to 100. Now see, if suppose information is 0 to 100 and then 150, then 200, then in this way this interval will be wrong. This interval is not continuous, not regular. 0 to 100, there is a gap of 100, and after that it is 50, 50. So what we can do, sometimes it is not possible to represent all intervals on this x-axis or y-axis, so we can make a kink to remove this situation. How we can avoid this situation, such type of situation? We can join, suppose there 0 and it is 100 and next is 150. So this gap, how we can remove? We can remove by drawing a kink. This is called kink. It's mean 0 to 50 and 50 to 100. Both intervals are present here, but we are not showing. We are showing one breakdown. This breakdown is called kink or knob or jagged line or jagged line. This breakdown is showing that all intervals are present between 0 to 100, 0 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 150. And what is name of this breakdown? It is called kink. We can call it knob, K-N-O-B, knob, K-N-O-B, knob, or jagged line, This was information about bar graph. This was information about bar graph. Let us see this bar graph already drawn, and we have to answer some question. What is first question? What is the information given by the bar graph? What information this bar graph is depicting? Let us see. What it is showing, number of students in class 8 in different academic years. What information this graph is representing? Graph is representing number of students in different academic years. Number of students in class 8 in different academic years. Second is in which year is the increase in the number of students maximum. Number of students increase is maximum. See, there 300 to 350, only 50 difference is there, and 250 to 300, 50 difference is there, and there also 50, but 100 to 200. This was the maximum increase. So in which year is the increase in the number of student is maximum? In 2004 and 2005. Number of student maximum increased in 2004 and 2005. Next is, in which year is the number of student maximum? In which year number of student were maximum? Maximum students were in 2007 and 2008. This was the maximum increase, and this is number of student maximum in which year? Maximum number of students were in 2007 and 2008. Next question, state whether true or false the number of students during 2005 and 6 is twice that of 2003 and 2004. This statement we need to tell whether it is true or false. He is saying in student in 2004 and 5 are twice the number of student in 2003 and 4. Clearly, number of students in 2004 and 5 are 200 and number of student in 2003 and 4 are 100. So this statement is true statement. Statement is true statement. Hope introduction of bar graph you have understood properly. See next, double bar graph. What is double bar graph? Double bar graph is also used to depict information, to display information in the form of bars. But usually it is used for comparison. It is used for comparison. Used for bar graph is double bar graph. Is used for comparison, showing information within one graph of two subjects. See, it is maths, okay, a different situation is given here. Let us see what is it. Double bar graph, a bar graph showing two sets of data simultaneously, two set of data simultaneously. We are denoting maths marks in, what is the information given by the double bar graph? Okay, see, these are the subjects and these are the number of marks obtained by a student in 2005 and 2006. In 2 years, we are comparing number of marks of a student in scored by him or her in 2005 and 6 and in 2006 or 7. Okay, in first year in 2005 and 2006, students scored 30 marks in maths, and in 2006 and 7 he scored 60 marks. Next is in social science. In 2005 and 6 he scored 50, and in 6 and 7 he scored 55. He scored 55. In science he scored 45, and then it is near about 50, near about 50. Okay, in English, on your graph paper you will get exact number of marks, exact number of marks. They are just a roughly idea I can give you, not exact idea. Maybe this is 47, 48, or it is more than above or below 50. Next is in English. In English, in 2005 and 6 he scored, it is near 50 only, and in 2006 and 7 he scored 45. Okay, in next year this was 30. In Hindi he scored in 2005 and 6 60 and 60 in both years. What information this graph is depicting, this double bar graph? This bar graph is representing comparison of marks in different subject of a student scored in 2005-6 and 2006-7 of 2 years. This bar graph, double bar graph is showing comparison of different subject of a student marks scored in 2 years in 2005-6 and 6-7. So this information is depicting this double bar graph. Next point is, in which subject has the performance improved the most? You can see the difference between these bar height of this bar is 30 and height of this bar is 60. So maximum difference is this one. You can check there. So what is the maximum? In which subject has the performance improved the most? So in maths, performance improved the most in maths. Next is, in which subject has the performance deteriorated? It is same in Hindi. It is same in Hindi. Next is, in which subject is the performance at bar? Question is not complete. So hope you can give answer of all questions. related to this double bar graph. Next is circle graph or pie chart. Circle graph or pie chart. What is circle graph or pie chart? What it represents? It represents a part of whole. A part of whole. Part of whole. So, see, a day spent by a student, day spent by a child, we can write, and this is number of people, number of people in a city, see, this pie chart is representing part of whole of whole day. 8 hours he used to sleep and 6 hours used for school, and 3 hours he played, and 3 hours he has done other activity, and rest 4 hours he has done homework. He utilized his whole day in this way. So this pie chart is representing a part of whole. If we want to know that out of whole day, from complete day, how many hours he has given to for sleeping? 8 hours he used to sleep. And if we want to know that how many hours he used to play of his whole day, then we will come to know about 3 hours. He used to play 3 hours. So this circle graph or pie chart, this is circle graph, another name is pie chart. Pie chart is also called circle graph, is representing a part of whole. And there, see, 30,000 people are there in a city whose age is between 0 to 14 years. 0 to 14 years. And there are 20,000 people whose age is 60 years or above 60. And there 50,000 people are there whose age is lying between 15 to 60 years. So this bar graph or this circle graph is used to represent a part of whole. Let us see. So 3 type of graph we studied: bar graph, double bar graph, and this circle graph or pie chart. And one more, first was pictograph, in which we are representing information in the form of pictograph. Now some questions we are going to discuss in next video. Till there, introduction has been completed, and about probability is also given. So one more video on introduction and along with this questions. Thank you.